Hello. And we are live, I think. We're almost there. Getting there. Okay. So let me tweet this. And let me get this tweet. And post it over here. We can begin. Faye Liar. Faye Liar. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. As you can see, it's still Christmas spirit over here. Not that I... not a failure. Faye Liar. I see. We will be talking about some of the gifts I gave myself. And those are the... Let me show. Wait, wrong thing. The Somnusdon subclass pack and the Sword Saint class, both by Logan Laidlaw from Net19. We will be reviewing them today. And we'll be talking about the goods, the bads, what we like, what we don't, and we will go from there. Probably talk about what we would to change, what we'd like to see change, what we would like to see in play, and how they are different, and how they stack up to the other things. I have a fork of cow's push, and one day I used this as a monster and became an in-joke between me and my friend. That's amazing. I follow that person on Twitter. I like his art. Their art, I don't know. I like their art. It's I like the humor. Hello Graves, welcome back to the stream. We'll be talking about Net19 products. Oh, I don't know what happened, but Twitch blocked out your first word there, failure. Here's a meme somewhere in the party, right? Was it a link? That's probably, yeah, it's because it was a link. Let me change that. Chat configuration, is it here? I do not know how to do that. Resume. Well, that is strange. I do not know how to fix link bugging. Maybe in the channel studio? Probably in the channel studio. You can whisper it to me if you want. I think that will go through. Easy, more easierly. But while we do that, I think I stopped linking just because of possible spam. But yeah, feel free to whisper it to me. I have received it. They are coming. Oh no. It looks it looks so good. What? Let me show you to the stream what this majestic creation is. Look at this. They are coming. It looks so good. Oh yeah, for sure. Look at that thing. It is either a fake creature or it's a monstrosity, and I don't know which one is worse. Also, this stream beats is really good. I like it. Top quality memes, for sure. Those are some really good memes. When people create memes inside of games and it just becomes an inside joke, it's amazing. The first game I ever DM'd had has an inside joke that runs in my group to this day. We had a dwarf fighter. That was my attempt at playing the game while being the DM. So he didn't have much say in what happened. He was just there because I thought the party would need it. Because it was the first session. We knew nothing about anything related to D&D, only that it was a thing and we wanted to play. So after some developments, they decided to go into a tavern and divided themselves. Two people went to one side. It was a rogue and a monk. They stayed together, and on the other room there was the necromancer and this dwarf fighter. During the night, the rogue wanted to go see what was going on in the necromancer/fighter room. And when they got there, and he looked through, the eye hole in the door, the keyhole in the door, she just saw bare dwarf ass. And for some reason, that alone made everyone just simply believe that the dwarf and the necromancer were a gay couple. Simply because they saw bare ass on the keyhole. And every single time something related to that necromancer or to this dwarf comes back, they always pick on the player that slept with the dwarf, even though they didn't really sleep with the dwarf. Inside joke memes are the best memes. My boy. Hello, Malva the Keeper, once again. Thank you for coming back to the stream. We'll be reviewing some Net 19 products. I plan on publishing this campaign when it's finished, and I'll probably make a reference to it, but I won't actually put the monster as I would need permission from Flork. Oh yeah, for sure. But that's great. I love when people decide they're like, I'm gonna publish this. It's the best way to get criticism and to improve. It's just to say, I'm gonna get this and make it public. Go to the world, my child. So, I think we can begin. Let me open up. So, which one do you guys want to go through first? The subclass pack or the Sword Saint class? One of my players has a subclass I made for them that I'll probably include. Oh, neat! Which class? Because we will be looking at homebrew today, so we can just compare it with this published homebrew that we're going to look at. Arcane Ranger. Ooh. Is it more focused on spellcasting or empowering attacks with spells? Because that's my shit. That's the good shit. So let's see. So let's just begin by looking at the Ranger on the Dominus subclass pack. Focus on blending spellcasting with movement. Okay, that's interesting. So let's just begin this by looking at the gray arrows. They are rogues that are like the opposite of what you said about your rogue. They are focused on destroying magic and spellcasting. I think at least that's what I remember. So let's go through it. Ranger, Grey Arrows. Among the people of Retia, a great deal of fear and confusion exists regarding magic and its applications. After centuries of unrest and prophecies foretelling the end of Somnus Dominant as a result of abusing the arcane, the Grey Arrows emerged. See? It's going there. Initially an unofficial branch of the Academy, these mage hunters became too bold and too overeager to be held at bay. They were taught how to manipulate the weave as to tear others from it temporarily, and conjure special auras that debilitate those who rely upon arcane arts. This is a very neat concept that can be applied to like any world in which magic that isn't high magic, or even words that are high magic. You can just have a bunch of people that are like, no, this is not the way, this is wrong. I like it. I like the fluff of it already. Their purpose to hunt and subdue sorcerers and spellcasters who might be a danger to society. Though they eventually dissolved and are no longer an organized unit, the teachings of Grey Arrows is to pass down among rangers who want to continue their traditions. Do you mind if I share the subclass? I don't have a crazy lore yet, so it's just mechanics. For sure, go for it. If you have a link to it, you can just send me you can just whisper it to me again, and I will have a look at it. Arcane Hound, one of the level 3 abilities. Starting at 3rd level, you can cast Detect Magic at will without expending a spell slot. You do not have to concentrate on it. Neat. So you just free Detect Magic, and it doesn't even need to recharge. Or it isn't once a short rest, once a day. It's just there. You can just keep spamming Detect Magic everywhere you go. If you're traveling, you can just consider that you always have Detect Magic on. If it doesn't have a limitation on uses. This is very tracking magic down to a T. Magic Piercing Rounds. Starting at 3rd level, when you hit with a weapon attack against a creature that is willingly being affected by a spell effect or is concentrating on a magical effect, including innate spells, your attack deals an additional 1d6 damage of the weapon's damage. We have piercing, things like that. This damage increases at weird levels, 7, 11, and 15. Yeah, it just to make it easier to drop the concentration, you add more damage. It needs to be willingly being affected. So you can't just like shoot someone that is being dominated by a dominate spell or a charm spell and have it make them do a save or something. No, you need to be willingly affected. But yeah, this is mostly useful against concentration, not really against the spell effect. But yeah, it's a good way to you assume you allow your teammates to cast spell. True, that would be a very interesting way to play Grey Arrow. To just like, no, I do not like to have any spellcasters in my party. You are all going to fight with weapons. Magic has been cancelled. Yeah, it would be an interesting way to... I think it would fit for a group dynamic instead of a specific player dynamic. So for example, if you have a group that for some reason everyone decided not to play a caster, then you can just like, so what if we decided that we are against magic completely, so I can play a Grey Arrow? That would be an interesting way to play mage hunters. Shrieking Aura, the level 7 ability. Starting at 7th level, you have a special aura that is only perceptible to creatures who are trying to channel magical energy. Such creatures hear a constant ringing sound when they look at you or hear your voice, which causes their mind to drift from their ongoing magical effects. Interesting. Any creature within 30 feet of you who can see or hear you makes concentration checks with disadvantage unless you choose to exclude them from this effect. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's... really? You just need to be near them to make disadvantage? That looks strong. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack and cause them to make a concentration check to maintain a spell, the DC for the save is equal to your spell save DC unless it was already higher. Wait, what? When you hit a creature with weapon attack, cause them to make a concentration check to maintain a spell, the DC for the save is equal to your spell save DC. Oh, I see. So you imbue your own magic into the spell, into the attack, causing the concentration effect to have a higher DC. Okay. So, this... I know it's 30 feet range, but this works so much better if you are a dual-wielding ranger, because you will be doing one extra attack because of the bonus action attack. You'll be dealing extra damage if they are concentrating, because the extra damage isn't once per turn on the magic piercing rounds. It's just whenever. So you're always dealing an extra damage. Oh, okay. If you use a bonus action to Hunter's Mark and do 2 attacks, you are dealing weapon damage, dex mod damage, plus 2d6 damage, 1 from Hunter's Mark and 1 from magic piercing rounds. That's like 3d6 plus 3. That averages above a 10 to damage, but it won't do... and they have disadvantage on the save, and you will be doing... and your spell save DC will probably be higher. Damn, that's 7th level. This guy destroys mages. Hand crossbow offhand, short sword main hand. Also possibility. You glue to one mage while keeping the other mage also not able to do anything. You attack him, you attack one mage once, fire at the other mage, they both have disadvantage, they both take extra damage because they're both concentrating on spells, and they both have disadvantage if they are within 30 feet. This is very strong against mages. Did you send me your... oh, you did. Let me open that. I will finish going through the Grey Arrow, then I'll jump to yours, Failure. Arrow of Erasure. Starting at 11th level, you learn the spells Dispel Magic and Counterspell, which you treat as if they were on the Ranger spell list. Okay, it makes sense. They get, I think it's 11th level that they get 3rd level spell slots, so it makes sense. The range of the spell magic and counterspell when you cast them becomes the range of your ranged weapon attacks. Your ability checks using them have disadvantage if the ranged weapons fire at a range when you would normally have disadvantage. Oh, I was just about to be like, but you can't fire a weapon. And then the last part comes in. When you use a reaction to cast counterspell, you may also make a ranged weapon attack against the creature you're targeting as part of the spell. If it does not hit them, counterspell has no effect. So instead of a guarantee within 60 feet you will counterspell the spell if it is 3rd level or lower, or you will roll the thing, you can be over 60 feet, which you have 20 feet left for, I think the longbow short range is 80 feet. I think dual wielding hand crossbows is a thing, but I don't know if it's hand crossbows. I know that the lightest and smallest crossbow is one that only needs one hand. You can dual wield them if you have crossbow expert, because you ignore the loading property, but I think that's it. I don't recall specifically what it does. But yeah, this is a very interesting way to fire off a counter spell shot. And you can do it at like 600 feet. I think it's the long range of the longbow. You just need to see it, and then there will be an arrow. Yeah, but it's an interesting thing, because if you don't have sharpshooter, if you are on the long range of the weapon, you will have disadvantage to hit, and if you hit, you will have disadvantage on the spell check for counterspell if the spell is of 4th level or higher. Yeah, this plus crossbow expert and sharpshooter dual hand crossbows. You can just be very far away and stop people from ever doing anything with magic. Oh, and another thing. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack, you may also cast a spell magic with the creature hit as a target, expending a spell slot as normal. Your ability check for the spell magic is rolled with advantage when cast this way. This casting of the spell magic cannot be counterspell. Okay. You become anti-magic incarnate, yes. So yeah, this works very well for both, but I really like the idea that Failure said of a gray arrow with a short sword and a hand crossbow, because you can dispel magic on a hit and then fire at the other guy with sharpshooter all the way on your long range and counterspell it. It's amazing. This is very strong against casters. Like, as soon as you put the gray arrow against like a big monster, like a dragon or something, they are just like a worse ranger. But as soon as you put that dragon casting spells, they destroy the dragon. The dragon can't do anything. Yeah, you're basically an anti-magic field walking around. Not only an anti-magic field, but a detecting magic field. You always know where magic is, and you are easily the most capable person in the game to dispel it and destroy it. And the last feature, Sever the Weave. Starting at 15th level, you can spend special ammunition for a ranged weapon or imbue an existing piece of ammunition with a special contained anti-magic field. A piece of ammunition with an anti-magic field. You choose to use this ammunition when you make an attack roll using a ranged weapon. If you hit a creature with it, the creature must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 6d10 psychic damage, in addition to the weapon damage, or half as much on a success. Oh wow. That is an absurd amount of damage. You make an attack roll, then they make a saving throw. No spells. Angry no spells. Sever the Weave should have the saving throw be against the target's own spell save DC or your ranger spell save DC, whichever is higher. Why would they save against themselves? Would it be because they are trying to control their own magic? Something like that? Also, this is 100% what's it called? The origin bullets from Kiritsugu in Fate Zero. You shoot the caster, you deal absolute batshit damage to them, and you break their magic. Okay. You're basically turning their magic against them. Yeah, I can see that. Additionally, a creature that fails the Wisdom saving throw cannot cast spells of first level or higher for a minute, unless they succeed an Intelligence saving throw when attempting to do so. So they literally have to stop, reorganize their brain, because you've destroyed their connections, so they need to create a new connection. This is origin bullets, yes. Still expanding the spell slot. And the spell fizzles on a failure, still expanding the spell slot. If they fail the saving throw, they may choose to expand a second spell slot equal to at least half the level of the spell they're trying to cast, rounded up. God damn, you cost so much to fight. Like, so much. So if they're casting a first level spell, they fail the Intelligence save, they can use another first level spell to cast it. If they are using a second level, it's one first level. If they're using a third level, it's a second level. Fourth level is a second level, and it goes up like that. So yeah, if you hit this on a full caster at 15th level, you're probably fighting 17 to 20 level casters. For them to make most high level casters in the game with pre-built stat blocks use Intelligence, the Lich and the Archmage. The Lich and the Archmage, I think, use Intelligence, so making the Intelligence saving throw is easier. But yeah, that's like, you can just imagine you're fighting Vecna, like at the end of Critical Role. The boy has 3 9th level spell slots that he can cast Meteor Storm with, and you just shoot him with a Sever the Weave shot, and he has to use 2 9th level spell slots to cast 1 9th level. No, he had to use a 9th level and a 5th level to cast a 9th level spell. Wow. This is a lot. And the 6d10 is also legendary resistance. Yes, I know. And you can use this feature 3 times. So yeah, you can just yourself as the ranger with 2 if you for some reason are hasted and have 3 attacks, you can use your 3 attacks to deal Sever the Weave the 3 times you can before and just be done with the legendary resistances. You can choose to use this feature before making an attack roll, and if it misses, that use is still expanded. Okay, this is good. This is a balancing this is a balancing act. Because if you fire and you miss, you lose it. Okay, that is good. That is very good. Because this is way too strong if it hits. Because the effect itself, the 1 minute itself, doesn't stop. They every time for 10 rounds they need to make intelligence saving throws when casting a spell that isn't a cantrip. Wow. A creature cannot take the damage from this feature a second time while still suffering from its ongoing. Oh! Okay. This last paragraph balances it out a lot. Because you can no longer just one-shot a caster by dealing 18d10 damage. Okay, nice. So, let me open up Failures subclass. The Wasteland Nomad Conclave. Neat. Let me just zoom in a bit. I want view, zoom, 200. Yeah. So you can read it as well. Arcane Magic. Starting at 3rd level, you draw your magic from an arcane source rather than through nature. When your spellcasting feature lets you learn a new ranger spell of 1st level or higher, you can choose the new spell from the ranger spell list or the wizard spell list. You must otherwise obey all restrictions for selecting the spell, and it counts as a ranger spell for you. In addition, you learn the shield spell. It counts as a ranger spell for you, but doesn't count against the numbers of spells you know. Okay, simple, easy to understand, and easy to work with. If you want something that isn't on the ranger spell list, just get it from the wizard. You can have Find Familiar, which is very nice. What else? It would be interesting. Maybe Mage Armor would be a nice touch. So, can rangers ritual cast? Don't remember if rangers can ritual cast or not. But if they can, ritual casting, getting some ritual like Identify would be neat. And the other level 3s in the there's 3 level 3s. The second level 3 is Nomadic Insight. After level, you gain proficiency in the Arcana and Insight skills. To make an ability check using these skills, you can add a d4 to the roll. Okay? You're a tad bit better than most. You're not expert, you don't have expertise in these skills, but you have an extra d4, which it will be worse than, it would only be worse than expertise when your proficiency bonus hits +5, which is I think at level 13. So yeah, it's really nice. Because from levels 1 to 5, 1 to 4, because in 5 it changes. 1 to 4 you have a +2. The average of a d4 is a +2. Okay. From 5 to 9 you have a +3. So if you roll well on the d4, you may have expertise, or you may have a bit more than expertise. And 9 to 13 is when it's a +4. If you max your dice, you have expertise. I think this is an interesting way to do it. And Wandering Heart. The nature of your conclave leads you to wander constantly, granting you a +5 bonus in movement speed and advantage on saving throws against exhaustion. Okay. You don't have... I mean, yeah, your power, you don't have... How can I say this? How can I put this? You don't have much power in the beginning. Like, you don't have an extra damage, an extra attack, and things that we see with other ranger classes. At least not written. The allowance to get wizard spells will bring more power, because wizards have more blast type spells that can do damage. But at the same time, you are better at 2 skills than most people. If you roll above if you roll a 3 or above, you are better than expertise in Arcana and Insight, you have more movement, especially if you are a high elf, I think, or a wood elf. I don't remember which elf gets the +5 to movement speed. You already have 40 feet of movement, and you have advantage on saving throws against exhaustion. So you always on the move. Wandering Heart. Makes sense. I like it. Seventh level, Spell Skirmish. At 7th level, when you cast a spell 1st level or higher, you can use a reaction to move up to half your movement speed without provoking opportunity attacks. I was about to say reaction to what? Then I reread the thing. Yeah. That's interesting. It's you don't you're never stationary. You're always on the move. I like it. I would probably change it to bonus action, maybe. I know that there are lots of spells, especially ranger spells, and some very good wizard spells that are bonus actions. For example, Expeditious Retreat, especially for a character like this that likes to move a lot. But at the same time, it allows you to cast an aggressive spell, for example, like at 11th level Haste, or maybe Magic Missile or a Fireball if you are so inclined, and still move a bit. And you can just move a little bit instead of having to compete 20 feet of movement, or even maybe 30 feet of movement if you have the mobile feat, with shield, which is a +5 to AC. So yeah, I like the reaction. I can also see a point for a bonus action. That's what I'm trying to say. The document's being rearranged as I read it. Labyrinthine Recall. Starting at 11th level, you can perfectly recall any path of travel. That's a very neat and very niche ribbon ability. I like it. Okay. That's it for the 11th level. Maybe you can add a little bit more to that, but let's keep going. Okay. Ghost Dash. At 15th level, when you take the dash action, you can expend the spell slot of 1st level or higher to move an additional 5 feet per level of the spell slot consumed, and become invisible and incorporeal until the start of your next turn. So yeah, you spend a little bit of energy to just, and you're gone. While I like all of the ideas that you have put here on paper, this is this is probably a subclass that I would do. And when I say that, I say because it looks a bit underpowered, because they gain no true buff to any attacks or spells they're casting. They the only thing they can do really is move. So if you don't have a reward for moving that isn't simply tactical positioning, this can get a bit underwhelming. What I would recommend, if I may, is to add something that would allow them, for example, if they move at least a certain amount of feet on their turn, wizard gets haste. Yeah, I know. If you get to 11th level, you can cast haste on yourself. that's very nice. And then you can just like dash with the haste action and burn a spell slot to just become invisible, and then as soon as you attack, you would dispel the invisibility, I think, or maybe not. But yeah, what I would say is maybe have something like a d6 extra damage that would incentivize them to be moving around. Because right now they can move around a lot, but they don't have much of an incentive. So maybe if you move at least half your movement on a turn, you deal an extra d6 damage, and then it goes up to d8, d10, d12. And you hit when a weapon attack after moving half your movement, or after moving. You can do some kind of math. If you move like 10 feet, you get 1 dice or something. And I think it should be a lower level ability, maybe 7th, or to get. Because I think if you leave it at 11th level, then maybe it's too late. But I really like the 3rd level abilities you have, the 3 3rd level abilities. So yeah, the one thing that I would say is add an incentive, maybe extra damage, maybe an extra 2 hit bonus. You are so used to moving around that if you stay still, you are not as good. Maybe add an extra d4, an extra d6 to hit if you move a lot. Something that will make them look at their abilities and say, wow, this ranger moves a lot. And if I move a lot, I will get something. Instead of just, wow, this ranger moves a lot, and he can cast some wizard spells. Can you... Did I make myself clear? I think it's a very interesting concept of especially with the ghost dash, that you're just moving around and being invisible. You're so fast that you go invisible. I see you've changed something here on nomadic tactics. The first 15 feet you move in a turn do not provoke opportunity attacks. This is a good incentive, because you no longer have to worry about using your bonus action / reaction of spell skirmish when you can just move. You start your turn, you are in a dangerous situation, move 15 feet. You're probably, most likely, out of melee range of anything if you move 15 feet in a single direction. So you can just use the rest of your extra movement to run away or reposition. Yeah, I like it. But as I was saying, you play. This is a thing that I can see on my subclasses as well. You have the first, from 3rd level to 7th level. They don't have anything new to them. They are just someone that is known to wander, and their studies during those wondrous adventures have given them extra power in wizard studies. Nice. That's a very neat concept. Knowledge through exploration, if you will. But then you only get the tactics of being a nomad at 11th level. At 11th level, most games are already over. So if you get to 11/15th, those abilities need to be something that you will really want. the capstones of the subclasses are the things that, and the classes are the things that keep you going. I really wanted to reach that point, but this is all my critique. If you think that your subclass is good for your type of game, if, for example, you are a person that likes to play longer games that go to the third and fourth tier of play, reaching 15th, 17th level, then maybe this is interesting. If you are creating a subclass specifically for a player, it doesn't need to be as balanced. It just needs to fulfill their fantasy. Like, oh, I wanted a ranger that's always moving around and has a bit of wizard spells. This does this amazingly. But if you want for it to be something that will be published later, maybe add a little bit more oomph to it. We are seeing a subclass being created right before our very eyes. You can teleport. Teleport is interesting. Yeah, I like that it changed nomadic tactics, nomadic tactics to 7th level. It's more interesting at 7th level because you are already fighting bigger things at 7th level, so 15 feet of movement will already be very helpful. You can teleport 30 feet away as part of the same action. It's an interesting. I wouldn't say to compare it in power to the Grey Arrow, because I personally think that Logan's subclasses are a bit more over-tuned in comparison to the normal subclasses. But I would say to look, if you have the books, look over the the book is very old by now, the Xanathars and the Tasha's Rangers, and look at the power levels of the 3rd level, the 7th level, the 11th level, the 15th level, just so you can have a better you don't need to crunch down on numbers. That's not the purpose. This is clearly not the purpose of your class to be an explosive damage dealer, but at the same time it doesn't hurt to add something, simplistic design is not bad design by any means. It's just that if you go sometimes too simple, maybe there won't be there won't be much interest in trying because it was too simple, not complex enough. I also have a monk subclass I would like to share. Go ahead, I'm open to suggestions. Let's see which one is the monk subclass here. If there is a monk subclass, there is a Twist Hound style. I've watched all the Net 19 games DM'd by Logan, and I haven't even heard of this subclass. Let's have a look, shall we? Monk, Twist Hound style. A savage method of fighting, Twist Hound style is a destructive method of combat that relies upon exploiting weaknesses and creating openings. Those who practice it use Ki to send waves of energy into their enemies' bodies to worsen existing problems. It was a style of combat originally designed in the Strikelands by a group of monks who learned the legends from Huden, Eidolon of Isolation. Those who become more proficient in it learn to control energy in impressive bursts, unleashing large shockwaves and even stealing control of the wind around them. The style's name, Twist Hound, is a corruption of the original name Twister Hunde. Makes a lot of sense. Named for its greatest technique that creates a vortex of psychic energy and Ki that boasters its users and can debilitate opponents. Okay, so this is about wind and debilitation. Okay. Failures. The subclass I made is based around shields. Oh, it's a shield monk? Yes, please. We have it open here. Let me just change the zoom. And go back here. Okay. Shielded Way of the Unbroken Barrier. That's an interesting name. Twist Hound style and Way of the Broken Barrier. Okay. Let's do a side by side, shall we? Shielded Martial Arts. The Way of the Unbroken Barrier. When you choose the subclass at 3rd level, you gain proficiency in shields. Neat! Max 25 AC now for your monks, with a +3 shield, a 20 wisdom, a 20 dex. You can still gain the benefit of your unarmored defense and unarmed movement features while wearing a shield. That was good to point out. Additionally, once per turn, when you successfully hit with an unarmed strike while wearing a shield, you can expend a Ki point by Ki Empowered Shove. Ooh! Dealing additional force damage equal to the shield's AC bonus and shoving the target forward in a straight line a number of feet up to your unarmored movement bonus. Does an unarmored movement go up to 20 feet? Because a free 20 feet at the same time that you were pushing a person 20 feet up, you are also for example, let's say it's your first attack. You hit, you spend a Ki point, they are gone. 20 feet. You move. Then you throw them back, move. And you can do this 4 times at 5th level. That means an absolutely free, you just went spending 4 Ki points. If you go, let's say, if you go, it's not as free. Oh, it's once per turn. I don't know how to read. Yeah, I was like, what? You can move a person 60 feet in a turn, 80 feet in a turn? Yeah, okay, it's once per turn. But I think that the main part of the point still stands, that you can freely, with a single Ki point, push a creature 20 feet. For example, you can shove them 20 feet. If you look at the Way of the Open Hand monk, if you hit with your flurry of blows, they need to make a save, and then they are pushed 5 feet. 5 feet. This is a much stronger version of it. But it isn't, I think if you add a save, it's fine. Just It's just the free movement. Is that it's what's not really well received. Yeah, with Eldritch Blast and Repelling Strike, you can always push a target 40 feet. Yes, but you need to hit 4 different attacks, and you have to have chosen one of your few what's it called? Eldritch Invocations on getting Repelling Blast. So yeah, you have a bit of a trade-off, and you have to hit 4 times to push 40 feet. Make a strength saving throw, be pushed. Yeah, easy fix. Let's see what the Twist Hound has as their 3rd level. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Starting at 3rd level, you gain the ability to exploit weakness in the bodies of creatures you strike depending on their condition. You may expend 1 key point when you hit a target with a melee attack suffering from one of the following conditions. This is interesting. This is very interesting. So if they are blinded or deafened, the target is disoriented further. You must make a wisdom saving throw, otherwise they are affected as if by the confusion spell. Ho ho ho! That means rolling a d10, I think it's a d10 or a d8, every turn to decide what you do. Not every turn, but you just keep going. Holy! The confusion spell is, I think, a 5th level spell. This is very strong. I mean, considering that at third level, blinding or deafening someone is relatively expensive, but at the same time, confusion? Really? That's like very high up. Frightened. If they are frightened, the target becomes frightened of you as well as their target. The DC for saving against this fear becomes whichever is higher between yours and the original source of the effect. So if you have Dragonborn with that Dragonborn feat that has a fear, or a Paladin, I think there is a Paladin that has a fear aura, you can just fear at them again. Interesting, because then if they go out of the line side of the original source of the fear, but you are still around, they are still feared. Neat. Paralyzed. If they are paralyzed, I think, yeah, this requires hold person and things like that. You send a wave of negative energy through the body. Targets have disadvantage on all saving throws until they stop being paralyzed. Oh, okay. You just made a hold person with disadvantage. This is very strong. This class, wow. That's subclass. Damn. Okay. Prone. Just as an FYI, by the book, the only 2 conditions without any feats or anything, the only 2 without reading all the other effects, the only 2 conditions that a monk can impose on someone is prone and stunned. Maybe poisoned if they buy a poisoner's kit, I apply it to a weapon and hit. So prone and stunned. Prone. Take advantage of a creature's unpreparedness, striking vital points on their person using your weight to your advantage. The target takes an additional d4 damage from all attacks that hit them until they stand. This effect can stack up to 3. What now? Okay, so you're telling me that if a monk, a level 3 monk that has 3 key points, goes up to a prone target and hit all of their 3 attacks. No, actually, you would need to be a level 4 monk. Level 4 monk hits all 3 of their attacks. A normal attack and flurry of blows. No, wait. it would need to be a 5th level monk. Yeah, it would need to be a 5th level monk. The 5th level monk can go up to a prone target, hit them 3 times, attack, extra attack, bonus action attack, spend 3 key points, and deal, and leave the target there, receiving an extra 3d4 damage per hit. Wow. That's why I said that I think Logan's subclasses are a bit on the higher up. Especially because prone is an easy condition to impose, because you can use an attack to push people prone. So, yeah. Poisoned. You strike pressure points in a manner that causes the poison to spread through their body rapidly. You deal an extra d8 poison damage on all damage rolls you make against them. You're just poking the poison to make it harder. Okay. And stunned. This is the one that I'm most scared of, because stunned is so easy for a monk to apply past level 5. You strike pressure points, crippling the target. The target must make a constitution saving throw and become paralyzed instead of stunned for a minute on a failure. At the end of each of their turns, they may attempt a constitution saving throw to end the effect. Oh no! If the original stun had a duration longer than 1 minute, they return to being stunned as per the original effect, with the time they spent paralyzed counting against the remaining duration of the effect. Oh no! Normal attack, stunning strike, makes it stunned. Second attack, spend another key point, makes them paralyzed. Another key point for Flurry of Blows, you have 2 crits because of the paralyzed condition. And so if you spend attack, if you spend stunning strike, 1 point to go from stun to paralyzed, 1 point to go from paralyzed to disadvantage, and 1 point for 1 point for Flurry of Blows, with 4 key points. A monk can make a creature go stunned, then paralyzed for a minute, then have disadvantage on all saving throws, considering that they need to make a saving throw to not be paralyzed, and all attacks against them are crits if they are in 5 feet. Oh wow. Yep, this is extremely strong. Like, this is bullshit levels of strong. With 3 key points. With 3 key points. A monk can make a creature go from stunned to paralyzed to have disadvantage on their paralyzed save. Wow. Wow. Okay. So yeah. Shielded Martial Arts, a very neat, very cool ability. Blood in the Water, extremely overpowered ability, with a very interesting concept behind it. Let's go to the level 6. Way of the Unbroken Barrier, Reflective Shield. At 6th level, when you use a Deflect Missiles feature while wearing a shield, you can add the shield AC bonus to the damage reduced. Amazing. Simple, effective, plays into the fantasy of wearing a shield and reducing damage. Amazing. Good. Wow. Twist Hound style, Hundy's Charge. Starting at 6th level, if you move more than 15 feet towards a creature and hit them with a melee attack, you may expend 2 key points and use a bonus action to perform a Hyundai's charge, which means that you're no longer able to use your Flurry of Blows nor your martial arts attack. You unleash a shockwave from your blow. I was like, what blow? What is blow? And then remember, this is the hit. The forces all creatures in the 25-foot cube centered on you to make a strength saving throw. Any creature that fails this falls prone, and you may knock the creature you hit up back to 10 feet if they fail. Additionally, all creatures in the space that were concentrating on any effect must succeed in a concentration check using a spell DC or lose concentration. This is a very nice self-contained ability. Why isn't this the level 3? Why isn't this the level 3? This makes more sense at level 3. Yeah, it's 2 key points and you have to spend like almost all of your key points if you do this at level 3. But it's so cool. I like it a lot. It's a 25-foot cube, which is quite massive. Okay, both the level 6 abilities are good, very good. Forceful Shove on the way of the Unbroken Barrier. Starting at 11th level, when you use your shielded martial arts feature, this one right here, to make a key empowered shove, the target is knocked prone if they are your size or smaller. If the target is smaller than you, the force movement now provokes opportunity attacks as well. Yeah, it's very nice. you shield bash, they go spinning around on the floor, and whenever they pass through someone, they get stabbed. Okay. I like this. I like this forceful shove a lot. It would be. Yeah, this is it. Okay. It would be very, very interesting if the Way of the Unbroken Barrier was somehow able to increase their own size, even if one category. To be able to knock a large creature prone, that would be neat. Let's see the 11th level of the Twist Town style. Isolate proficiency. Starting at 11th level, as a bonus action, you can gain one of the benefits of the spell enhance ability for 10 minutes. You don't need to concentrate on the effect. If you're knocked unconscious or fall asleep, the effect ends immediately. You may have multiple instances of this effect overlapping. You may use this feature 3 times and regain expended uses. Okay. This is a bit strong. Yeah, Isolate Proficiency enhance ability is mostly skills, but I think the Constitution one makes you gain extra 2 things. The Constitution one makes you able to gain temporary hit points, I think, and the Strength one, then you have advantage on shoving people prone, and then you can go and add 3d4 damage extra if you spend 3 key points because of blood in the water. Okay. And the 17th level abilities. Let's go back to the Way of the Unbroken Barrier. Deflection Mastery. When you reach 17th level, you can now use your Deflect Missiles feature against melee weapon attacks. Ooh, and the Magic Missile spell. Additionally, when you reduce the damage of an attack to a negative number using Deflect Missiles, the attacker has disadvantage on its next attack against you. This is very nice. Although, yes, magic, you have shield permanently cast on you now. Because you can just keep deflecting with your shield. I like it. Yeah, because the Deflect Missiles is a reaction, so you can Is it? Or is the reaction just the thing that you throw back? I am now confused. Monk, row 20. I don't remember if the thing, where is the thing? Key, flurry of blows, spaceship defense, deflect missiles. Yeah, you can use a reaction to catch. As part of the same yeah, okay. So if you, yeah, you can, like, if you get crit, you just deflect it. Yeah, it's very nice. I like this subclass. I like the flavor of the Wasteland Nomad more than I like the flavor of the Unbroken Barrier, but the Unbroken Barrier, for me, is better designed than the Wasteland Nomad. So let's see the 17th level of the Twist Hound style. Twister Hound Aura. Starting at 17th level, you have gained the ability to call up a twister of kinetic energy that swirls around you at all times. This aura probes the area surrounding you while you fight, giving you blind sight out to 60 feet. Oh wow. 60 feet is a lot. All attacks that you make with your monk weapon or unarmed strikes deal an additional 1d8 force damage, and you can treat all of your damage with these weapons as force damage if you choose to. I mean, yeah, it's the wind, it's kinetic energy. It's like you're punching someone, there's a magic rock hitting them as well. Okay, I can see it. When you hit a creature with an attack using a monk weapon or an unarmed strike, you may expend 2 key points to perform a this word right here, this sanctious seal by striking key pressure point and dealing discrete organ damage. The target must succeed. Unbroken Monk is basically a monk that specializes in defense static. They hold the best offensive defenses. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that I don't like the Unbroken Monk. I like it. I just like the concept of the Ranger better. But they are really interesting concepts. Okay. The target must succeed a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, for 1 minute, every time the target uses more than half their movement in one turn or takes an action, including bonus actions, but not reactions or interactions, they take 1d8 damage from their body seizing up. Yeah, you hit, doesn't feel anything. As soon as you walk, you feel something. This is like a built-in, what's the name of the spell? The one that you... Booming Blade. If the target has multi-attack, extra attack, or any feature that allows for multiple weapon attacks, they take the damage for each one. Neat. Neat. The target may repeat the saving throw at the end of its turn, and the effect ends in a success. Very nice. A creature that succeeds a initial saving throw to resist the effect cannot be affected by the feature from that creature for 24 hours. You can just say that they would be immune for 24 hours. Okay. A creature cannot suffer from more than one of these features' effects at once. If multiple creatures target the same creature with one of it, the one with the highest DC is applied. On a tie, the existing effect remains. So this means that if you have two 17th level Twister Hound auras, but one of them has a higher wisdom, the DC effect is for the one that has the higher wisdom, and they can't be taking 2d8 damage from both of the effects. Okay, it's an interesting thing to add to the end here, but okay. Failure said, I have a rogue who uses light. But that's the last one I will show you, as I don't want to take too much time if I hit. Oh, don't worry about it. we're here to talk about D&D. And that's an interesting concept. A rogue that uses light instead of dankness. By light, do you mean lighting? Like if this place is darker than the other? Like a shadow monk? Or like the cantrip light? Because that was the first thing that came to my head. A rogue that has the light cantrip. I cast light, and then you die. Okay. Did it send? It did. Sunshade. Roguish archetype. Let us put it here. Oh, this has neat flavor text in it. Yes. I do like me some neat flavor text. Oops. Wrong screen. This one. Here. Sunshades. 5e Roguish archetype. Sunshades are scoundrels and assassins that have mastered the ability to sneak using the powers of light. By manipulating light around them, they can rival the most powerful bounty hunters in lethality, whilst everyone around them is none the wiser. Okay. This is like the opposite of what I was thinking. Okay. Many sunshades, although not all, are in fact envoys of gods that hold domain over light, tasked with hunting down their deities' enemies and bringing forth radiant justice. However, for those few who use the art of this craft without connection to a god, their foes should be cautious, lest their foe's unlucky corpse becomes the sunshade's next torch. Wow, this flavor text is amazing. Let's see what rogue options do we have here for the simple sake of comparison. We have the drag ladder. Horrible assassins who have acquired great knowledge regarding the biology of the creatures they hunt. They are able to strike their foes with ruthless, bloody attacks that leave them bleeding in pain. Dragladders study the sight, smell, texture of blood to investigate enemies. They enjoy drawing it from creatures, and by doing so, can learn about the qualities of their victims rapidly. Death follows them, and they welcome it with open arms. Strangely coincidental that they both seem to be hunters in some way. Sunshades and dragladders. So let's see what the third level of a sunshade has to offer. Gift of Light. At third level, you gain proficiency in your religion skill and learn the light cantrip. Aha! It uses the light cantrip. I knew it! Radiant Ray. When you choose this archetype at third level, while not in darkness, as a bonus action, you can shoot forth a glowing ray of condensed light at a target you can see within 60 feet of you. Make a ranged spell attack against the target using Wisdom for the attack roll. You are considered proficient with this spell attack. On a hit, the target takes radiant damage equals to 1d4 plus your Wisdom modifier and must succeed on a Constitution saving throw against a DC equal to 8 plus your Wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus, or be blinded until the end of your next turn. I like the fact that this rogue, instead of a rogue that is hiding, this rogue does the opposite. Instead of using the environment to hide themselves, they block out your vision. This is a very nice concept. I like it. It does a little bit of damage, they make the save, they are blinded, which means that now you have advantage on attacks. You can proc a sneak attack. Nice. Let's see what the drag ladder level 3 is. A huge ass text. Surgical gouging. Starting at 3rd level, when you take this archetype, you gain additional options when you would trigger your sneak attack damage. When you make an attack that could normally add your sneak attack damage to it, you can instead force the creature to make a Constitution saving throw. Dexterity modifier. Okay. If they fail, they take an amount of damage at the start of their turns determined by your level. This ongoing damage lasts for 1 minute, during which time you also deal extra damage to them each time you hit them with a ranged weapon attack, or a weapon with the light or finesse properties. Okay, so you just create a wound. Neat. Yeah, it's a D4 and goes up to a D12 at 19th level. Okay, considering that you are dealing a D4 per minute. Neat. A creature may re-attempt a saving throw at the end of each of their turns, ending the effect on a success. This feature cannot affect constructs, elementals, or incorporeal creatures like ghosts. Okay. Yeah, I expected a save at the end of the turn. Success ending it. Cannot affect contras. Yeah, I mean, you are creating a wound. You can't really create a wound on an elemental, construct, or a ghost. If you successfully inflict this condition on a creature, you cannot use your sneak attack damage that turn. The creature cannot suffer from multiple instances of this feature. If multiple creatures inflict this condition on a single target, they all gain their extra damage on weapon attacks against them, but the creature only takes the highest amount of ongoing damage among those with the feature. Same thing as the monk. If you have 2 drag ladders, one's level 3, the other is level 7. They both gain the extra, the 3rd level gains the extra d4, the 7th level gains the extra d6, the creature only takes a d6 at the start of its turn. Neat! At the start of the turn, yeah. Okay, the ongoing damage. Yeah, it's the same thing that is here. You may use this feature amount of times equal to a dexterity modifier plus 1, minimum of 1, and regain expended uses when you complete a short or long rest. Use is only considered expended when a creature fails that saving throw. Okay, so you can stab them like at the end of the game. You can stab them 6 times. Creating not the same creature, but like creating different wounds on 6 different creatures at the same time. Interesting. Let's go back to the Sunshade and see what the level 9 brings us. Concealing Radiance. Upon reaching the 9th level, when you successfully hit a creature with your Radiant Ray, until the end of your next turn, the target sheds bright light for 10 feet and dim light for an additional 10 feet, which prevents it from going invisible. Yeah, because it would just be a ball of light walking around. Hostile creatures treat the light as slightly obscured and can attempt to hide within it. Okay. That's interesting. So you can, at the same time that you don't allow them to, turn invisible, you make their friends better at hiding. Am I getting that right? I don't think I am. If you are still around, Failure, oh, okay, you are. You make yourself better at hiding, as you can hide within the light. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Then maybe you could, just for clarification, you could add here on the text, hostile creatures to the target treat the light as lightly obscured. Because I thought it was you were creating an area that allowed your enemies to hide better. So I was a bit confused. But yeah, this feature is also very nice. Because yeah, you hit them from afar because it's a spell attack, a ranged spell attack, not a melee spell attack. Then you go into the light while they are blinded, and if they, when their turn ends and they are no longer blinded, they create, you are, yeah, all creatures. All creatures would be interesting as well, because then you can allow for the enemy rogue to hide within the light. Because yeah, that's an interesting level 9 thing that this monk can do. Starts its turn, fires the beam. The target is the target blinded or not, doesn't matter. You go into the light and you use your action to hide there. You're hidden within melee range, but the creature cannot see you because light. Because bright light emanating from everywhere. And then on your next turn, you can punch them with advantage because you're hidden. Or maybe you aren't. But yeah, this actually, now that I think about it, because of your bonus action cost from Radiant Ray, you can't go up to them and hide on the same turn. Yeah. Because like, if you go up to them, if you are, like, let's say at least 10 feet away, you use your bonus action to fire the beam. It hits, creates the light. Now you need to use your action to hide there, because it only lasts until the end. Oh no! I have small brain and I cannot read. It's until the end of your next turn, not the target's next turn. So yeah, that's fine. It's completely fine. I am just being brain dead. It's completely fine. Let's see what the level of 9 of the Drag Ladder do. Blood Telling. Starting at 9th level, when you deal your sneak attack damage to a creature, you may subtract multiples. Wait, what? You may subtract multiples of d6 damage from your sneak attack to gain information about the creature based on qualities extrapolated from the blood and the difficulty in quickly extracting it. What? For each d6 you forego, you may acquire one of the following information. What? A level 1 is 1, a level 3 is 2, a level 5 is 3, a level 7, a level 9. So, at level 9, you have 5d6 sneak attack damage. So you can detract all your d6s from your sneak attacking and know 5 bits of information. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God damn it! Being effective for melee and ranged rogues is something I see isn't something I see enough. Yeah, true. Normally it's one or the other. You're good at pew pew from far away, or you're good at stabby stab. But yeah, include the creature's AC. Any of 2 creatures saving ability scores, including if they are proficient, details about a trait you've at least somewhat aware of. Creature's resistance, damaging immunities or condition immunities, pick one. The creature type, Approximately how much health the creature has left. Almost full, about 3/4, about half, or about 1/4, depending on which is appropriate. Oh, wow. This is... I thought this was going to be something like mind-blowing. No, this is a very neat ability. You detract damage to no information. Yeah, this is very nice. Very neat. So let's go to the 13th level. Dagger of the Sun. Okay, this the flavor text in this and the name of the thing are so cool. I love them. At 13th level, when you successfully sneak attack a creature while in the area of bright light, you deal an additional 2d6 radiant damage, and you can choose to convert the sneak attack damage into radiant. When there's a curse, shimmering blades swarm the target. This is incredible. What? You create a bright light, you run up to the bright light, you sneak attack, you deal an extra 2d6, you make all your sneak attack radiant, so you just like out-paladin the paladin. This is amazing, I love it. And you add flavor text to it? You're winning my heart. Let's see what the drag letter does. Attacks and precision. Starting at 13th level, when you make a weapon attack against a creature currently under the ongoing effects of your surgical gouging feature, you have advantage on your attack roll, caused by your attacks, forcing the creature to twist and move in ways that worsen the wound. Whenever you hit a creature under the effect of your surgical gouge feature, you deal more than 10 damage on a single hit. The ongoing damage they take from surgical gouge increases by 1. Which means that you can add... Which means at the beginning of that level, at level 20, at the beginning of their level, they take a 1d... Yeah. They take a 1d12 plus 1, then you hit again and deal more than 10 damage. It deals 1d12 plus 2, up to 1d12 plus 10 damage at the start of their turn. I don't think this feature will ever reach that much, because it requires you hitting 10 times as a rogue, dealing extra damage with the sneak attack. But if it did get there, you would be dealing 1d12 plus 10 damage at the start of the creature's turn. That would be very interesting. And extra attack. You can attack twice. Considering that sneak attack can only proc once per turn, now this thing has a higher chance of working, of getting to the 10 extra damage. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about classes getting extra attacks. Classes that don't normally have extra attacks getting extra attacks. But yeah, rogues, this is just a thing that allows ranged rogues an extra attack, because most melee rogues are just dual wielding for the extra chance of proccing sneak attack either way. So yeah, this is neat. I like it. But I like Dagger of the Sun better. Dagger of the Sun is really, really nice. I like it a lot. Because like at 13th level, it's 6d6 plus 2d6, 8d6 radiant damage. I think you aren't out-palading the 4th level spell slot of the paladin, but it gets close, I think. Let's do some math. It will be 8d6, which averages to 28 against a 4th level would be 5 D8, which averages to 22. Yeah, so it averages to 23. 23 or 23, or yeah, you do out paladin the paladin. Wow. Yeah, you can only do, yeah, and you could theoretically, depending on where you're fighting, do this more consistently than the paladin can. It's a thought. It's just food for thought. And level 17, Cloak of the Dawn. When you reach 17th level, while in an area of bright light, as part of you attempting to hide, you can turn invisible until the start of your next turn. You can do so a number of times per day, equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum once, and regain the ability to do so after finish a long rest. Neat. I would just add the thing about that every invisibility pass in all class skills and all racial features, to say that if you attack or cast a spell during this invisibility, you break the invisibility, just in case. I know it's an easy way to get advantage, but you only need it for one attack, so yeah. But yeah, I like Sun. I love the fact that you showed your classes in order of what can I say, of increasing order of good design. I think the most well-designed one is Sunshade, then Broken Barrier, then Nomad Conclave. And at the same time, I think that the order for flavor would be Sunshade, with Nomad Conclave, and Broken Barrier. Those are very good. And I do hope that you get to put them on a book somewhere. Those are very interesting. I like them a lot. And especially because I have a region in my setting, in my homebrew setting, that Sunshades would work very, very good in, because it's a desert. It's an open desert. And I don't know why, but Sunshades for me just scream desert assassins. A Kobold Sunshade that worships Bahamut could be a cool character to play. Yes, but then wouldn't their sunlight sensitivity just kill them? Considering that they are yeah, or like a drow, La Thunder drow. Yeah, it works, but then they would never have the advantage of the hiding thing, because hiding in bright light, because they will always be inside light, so their eye don't work, so they have disadvantage, but then they have advantage from hiding, and then they are always making normal attacks. You can use the Sunshade if you wish. Thank you. I will keep a bookmark of it, as you can see right here. I shall keep a bookmark of it. Oh yeah, of course, you can always just take that. What I would do is, and it's something that I did for someone in my game. They made a pact. They were a rogue, a drow rogue, and they made a pact with a demon, devil thing. I don't really know what it would be. And yeah, they started going down the warlock path, but at the same time, it cured their eyes. So yeah, it's something that would 100% be doable in RP, in background, or maybe a first quest, a character development moment of the kobold getting blasted by Bahamut. Maybe it will comes with cool little things. Maybe their scales start to silver instead of being the reddish color, because Bahamut, the platinum, start to look more shiny, more platinum-y, because platinum dragon would be really neat. I like it a lot. And the last one, Evisceration. For the drag ladder, starting at 17th level, if you hit a creature that is currently being affected by your surgical gouging feature with a weapon attack that would trigger your sneak attack damage, you may force that creature to attempt a Constitution saving throw, again using dexterity, as part of your attack. If you do this, you must use your sneak attack damage on the result of that attack, whether they fail or succeed with the saving throw. If they fail, the ongoing effects of your surgical gouging end and your attack automatically becomes a critical hit. Ho! Ho ho! Ho ho ho! 17th level, isn't that 10d6 damage? Did you crit? Did they fail the saving throw? That is where Legendary Resistance come into play, as Malva had said before on the stream. Legendary Resistance here would be amazing. Oh, you have one more subclass for Barbarian. Okay, I'd like to see that. If the creature fails the saving throw by 5 or more points, they are also stunned. Holy wow! This is like your ultimate move. This is the combat ending move. Right here. I like the concept of the drag ladder a lot, of being someone that studies and knows how to cause specific damages and specific not conditions, but causes specific, it's a condition, the surgical gouging. I like it, and it's a more, how can I say, more brawly rogue than normal rogues. Yeah, this is very neat. So you said Barbarian subclass. Let's go to the Path of the Gladiator. And you sent failure sent a link. Path of the Bloodied Medic. Interesting name. Let's see what it has to offer. Let me just zoom in here. While compassion and clarity is something that most barbarians lack, those who follow the path of the Bloodied Medic show true kindness in times of desperation. These powerful war healers guide the wounded in times of need, sacrificing themselves so that others may live. Perhaps due to an innate link to the divine, or just sheer skill with life energy, they can martyr their own life to heal others. Due to this, they are often seen in a more positive light compared to other barbarians. Some even work in trained armies as field medics, giving other warriors the courage and resilience to live another day. Okay, can see what this is going. And I think this also is a very intuitive name, Path of the Gladiator. The gladiator's way of life is less tribal than its fellow barbarians, but aims for glory and fame. They seek out circles of competition or wander the countryside challenging strong opponents to test their strength. Often they place bets on their victory and love the thrill of the challenge, making them notorious rather quickly. In battle, they call out their opponents and focus in on them, drawing attention to themselves and using their rage as a refined tool to strike down unsuspecting opponents. So yeah, They are both concepts that change how rage is perceived. While it says that these barbarian, the Path of the Bloody Medic has a more positive light shown on them, the Path of the Gladiator uses the rage as a refined tool. Okay, let's see. Let's go through the level 3 abilities, bonus proficiencies, medicine skill, and herbalism skill. Nice. They're medics. They know how to squish plants, apply plants good. Sacrificial healing. When you choose the subclass at 3rd level, you can martyr yourself to heal others. When you take damage while raging, you can use a reaction to heal a creature other than you that you can see within 30 feet of you for an amount equal to half of the damage taken. This damage cannot be self-inflicted. Okay, I was like, what? Which damage? Oh, that wasn't from the attack. Brain does not work. You can use this feature a number of times per rage equal to your constitution modifier. This can be a lot. Because it says when you take damage. So like, if you took a breath weapon to the face, that can be like 40, 50. If you fail to save, upwards to like 80 something damage that you are taking, and that can be like 40 damage that you're healing to someone. I would say maybe restricted to weapon attacks or melee attacks. It's actually restricted to maybe attacks instead of saving throws, because saving throws will always do more damage than attacks. So maybe saving throws instead of maybe attacks instead of saving throws, or just pure damage. But I like where this is going. Let's see, beat down attack, 3rd level feature of the Barbarian Path of the Gladiator. Starting when you choose this path at 3rd level, once per turn, you can turn one of your melee weapon attacks into a beatdown attack. Beatdown attack! A beatdown attack is made with such force that if it hits a target, they must roll a strength saving throw, strength modifier, and on a failure, they are knocked prone after you deal damage. This cannot knock a creature prone if it is 2 size categories or more larger than you are. Okay, interesting. You hit, then yeah, you don't need to spend your attack trying to shove them prone. You can just hit with an attack and then make them make the save and fall down. Neat, simple, good ability. Let's go back here and look at the level 6. Cleansing Burst. At 6th level, when you successfully kill a creature while raging, you can release a burst of energy that ameliorates any cursed, poisoned, or diseased friendly creatures within 30 feet of you. Once you use this feature, you cannot use it again until you finish a long rest. Okay. This, any cursed, poison, or diseased friendly cursed. Yeah, this keyword here is quite strong, considering there are spells of like 5th, 6th, 7th level. I think 7th, maybe. I don't know. Bestow curse, which level it is. I think it's 5th, but you can upcast it. That with a 6th level ability you can just release it Bestow Curse is third. Which one is the one that is very high level then? I think it's Contagion. Is Contagion the one that curses? There is one high level spell that is a curse. I don't remember which one it is. Geas. Geas is a curse. Geas is a curse, yes. So yeah, but being able to dispel over 3rd level at 6th level is kind of, because like I don't know about your setting, but if you're playing a game that is supposed to be like the players are cursed, the body's cursed or something, or it's a curse that isn't really a spell effect and is just a witch or some kind of hag of some kind just cursed them, to just like kill a rat and dispel the curse on everyone feels a bit. I like the poison and disease, because you're like, you hit a creature and it bursts into healing energy. But yeah, the cursed part is the only one that I think it's a bit too much, because like poison and disease level 2, 3, 1, I don't remember in which level the paladin gains the feat that allows them to cure poison and disease with their healing hands. Poison and disease is fine. Cursed is a bit too strong, I think, for my taste. Let's see what the competitive rampage of the barbarian, the gladiator barbarian is. Beginning at 6th level, you gain the ability to fight with competitive zeal instead of giving into absolute anger. On your turn, you can expend one of your uses of rage to enter a competitive rampage as a bonus action. Your rampage lasts for 1 minute, same as a rage. While rampaging, you gain the following bonuses. You immediately gain 2d10 temporary hit points, which disappear when your rampage ends. As long as you have these hit points, you have advantage on melee weapon attacks. Okay, no need to go reckless. Nice. Because it would be kind of against the motto of the class. You can take the dodge action against a single creature on your turn as a bonus action. You may also take an additional 10 feet of movement each round, as long as it's straight forward towards that creature. Oh no. You can choose a person and be like, you are not gonna hit me well, they are, but you are not. You gain advantage on strength checks, strength saving throws, and constitution saving throws. Yeah, because like, it replaces rage. So yeah. You needed the strength check, strength save thing, but the constitution is an added bonus. When you begin rampaging, you can make a declaration of challenge against up to an amount of creatures equal to your charisma modifier that can hear you, and you make an intimidation versus wisdom check against them. You roll intimidation, they all roll their separate wisdom checks. If they fail, they have disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you, as long as they can see you. And you have resistance against all slashing, bludgeoning, and piercing damage from them. Oh, this is interesting. Because if you have a 5 plus 5 charisma, neat. You can almost single out the combat. If you don't, if you have like 1 charisma and you're targeting one specific creature, if they fail, your rampage it does not give you any resistance. Any resistance. Wow. Your rampage ends if you fall unconscious, or if there are no hostile creatures within sight at the end of a round. At the end, a round where you did an attack in a hostile creature. That is missing an off at the end of a round. When you gain the persistence rage feature, it applies to your competitive rampage as well. Neat. When you cannot use your rage and competitive rampage at the same time. Using one immediately ends the other. Whenever you reach 20th level and have unlimited rages available, your allotment for this competitive rage and uproarious violence remains collectively at 6, which replenish when you take a long rest. I really like that it replaces rage, but at the same time, losing the resistance from creatures that fail your intimidation, that succeed on your intimidation. If you're fighting a horde, you are not built for this at all. You're a gladiator. You find small groups of enemies or singled out enemies. If you go with gladiator on a normal D&D game, you may not be as tanky as you think you are by being a barbarian, or you may not use competitive rampage as much. Like, you keep using rage normally until you have like a decent charisma or a decent intimidation. Interesting. Failure has a race as well. We'll look into that in just a moment. Regenerative rage. Just a moment here. Okay, I was just making sure that the message I received on WhatsApp wasn't something too important, and it wasn't. Okay. Regenerative rage. Starting at 10th level, at the start of each of your turns while raging, you and friendly creatures within 5 feet of you are healed for 1d6 hit points. This is a bit strong. I would say... Oh god, the thing behind me has fallen. I would say that maybe change regenerative rage to when you are below half health. When you are below half health, doesn't matter to the other people around, to make it more on par with the champion's regeneration, because the champion is I think if I start champion here, it works. Fighter champion, that's what I want. Subclass champion, yes. Because champion is at 18th level. They heal 5 plus Constitution mod, which means up to 10. It doesn't work when they have 0 hit points. You should probably add this tag here somewhere, because there will reach a point while we can be at 0 hit points and still continue raging. And the survivor only works if you have no more than half your hit points left. So yeah, I would add that clause here, because even though it's averagely less, it is an AoE and it works all the time. That would be my critique of regenerative rage. The 10th level ability, Uproarious Violence, for the Gladiator. Starting at 10th level, you can channel your rage into a single burst of stamina and strength. As a reaction, when you take damage from an attack, you may expend one of your uses of rage to immediately gain temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus your barbarian level, which you gain before the damage is dealt. If you gain temporary hit points this way, you lose any other temporary hit points you have. If the attack does not reduce the temporary hit points to 0, you may immediately make an attack against the creature that attacked you, as long as they are within range. With a melee weapon attack, adding a bonus to your attack roll equal to the remaining temporary hit points. Whoa, strong. If they continue to attack you, you may take additional attacks this way. Each time they do not reduce your temporary hit points to 0, using your current temporary hit point total for the bonus each time. Okay. It is only a D10 plus Barbarian level, which means at maximum it is 30 damage that you are tanking. Interesting. I like it. At the end of the attacker's turn, you lose remaining temporary hit points. Okay. Yeah. It's neat. I like it. While it's something that you can only do once per turn because of a reaction, it's interesting to make sure you keep going and keep going. Especially because you no longer have resistance. This scares me a lot. And the last feature of the Bloodied Medic: when you reach 14th level, while raging, you can make one additional reaction each round. This reaction can only be used to use your sacrificial healing feature. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And the 14th level for the Gladiator, you make one extra attack. Those are both features are small, but very useful and very good. I like it. Yeah. Oops, that's the wrong link. I would say that I would put the Bloodied Magic on the same level as the Wasteland Nomad in design. I think they need a bit more time in the oven, maybe. And in flavor, I would put it a bit beneath of the Unbroken Barrier. I'm not really a fan of a healer barbarian. I know it can be done. You have good ideas that you can work on, but I'm not really a fan of a healing barbarian. Let's look at your race now. Where is it? It's right here. Awakened Doll. IV race. Oops. Let me close this thing right here. Yep. While animated objects and dolls are common occurrence in the realm of magic, awakened dolls are much rarer. Yeah, it would make sense, because the awaken spell costs a lot, and it's high level. Only specific types of dolls can actually be awakened, and the process is often kept secret. Lice. I like plus nice. Lice. However, should awakened doll be abandoned by its creator or otherwise manage to find the outside world, they may end up becoming an adventurer. Of course they will. Awakened doll traits. Ability score increase. Your constitution score increases by 2. Awakened dolls do not age physically, although their mental state does indeed mature. Your size is small, walking speed is 75 feet, false appearance. So long as you remain completely still, you are indistinguishable from a normal doll. Why do I want to play Annie from League of Legends now? Telepathic. You can communicate telepathically for up to 10 feet, granted that both you and the creature you're communicating with share a language. You can speak, read, write, common, and one language of your choice. Okay. This is an interesting base race. I really like the false appearance and the small size, and just play like a barbarian Goliath that has a small doll friend that he doesn't really know it's alive, it's awakened. That would be an interesting concept. Voodoo Doll, the subrace. Intelligence up by 1. You know one cantrip of the wizard spell list. At 3rd level you can cast Hex, and Intelligence is your spellcasting ability for Hex. Okay, and you can write Abyssal. Wow. Okay. Isn't Voodoo used more for like hags? Wouldn't what's the language they fake which speak? Sylvan? Wouldn't Sylvan make more sense here? I don't know. Teddy doll. Subrace. Ability score increased charisma. Yeah, because you're a teddy doll. Inconspicuous. Have advantage on charisma, deception, or persuasion checks to prove or falsify your innocence. Oh, that's interesting. Stitched. You gain proficiency in weaver's tools and musical instruments of your choice. Yes, yes. Just have a Goliath barbarian that has a music box that has a ballerina on top. Just make this class tiny. I want to play it. If it's tiny, I want to have a Goliath barbarian with it as a companion. And Porcelain doll. Your wisdom increases by 1. You gain vulnerability to thunder damage, but whenever you take damage, any hostile creature within 5 feet of you take 1 piercing damage. There's pieces of you flying. This damage increases to 1d4, 1d4 a 5th, 1d6 a 10th, and 1d8 a 15th. I like it, and you can walk faster. I like this race a lot. I really like it a lot. It's a very interesting concept because you can have so many different dolls. You can have like I don't know why I'm here doll. You can have I was just created and my master decided to throw me into the world. I just awakened out of nowhere. I don't know what's going on. Do I have a master? Do I don't? Do I do not? Yes, interesting. I like it. I like this doll a lot. I like what you have done. Your how can I say it? Your specific design choices in all of the things you've sent us are really interesting. I like the way you think. I like your brain. My master mistreated me and I wish to travel the world to spread kindness as I don't want people to suffer the same fate. Also possible. So many cool dolls. I like them a lot. You have done good job. So now that we have seen many a different, oh god, does it have bookmarks? Yes, it does. Oh no, the bookmarks isn't. Ah, okay. So, which next subclass do we want to look at? There is the Bard, College of Drifting Echoes, Cleric, Stillness Domain, Druid, Circle of Guardians, Fighter Brawler, Fighter Red Lion Knight, Fighter the Way of Blue Metal, Paladin Oath of Authority, Sorcerer Idolic Cosmologus, Warlock Pact of the Idolas, and the Wizard Crucible Mage. I know that some of the names aren't as as easy to understand the concept. The ones that I know is that Crucible Mage is focused on time magic. So, which one do we want to have a look at today? Let me just move my Discord out of here. Yes. Oh god, my burps. I actually played an awakened teddy doll bard once. That's where that quote came from. His name was Richter, and he was absolutely adorable. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes, I like this. I like this a lot. I really like this this doll. It's a thing that isn't hard to put somewhere in your world. It's not something that'll, oh no, it wouldn't make sense in my world. No, someone probably makes toys in your world, doesn't it? So like, why not? Why not? Why shouldn't we just have a doll maker that for some reason discovered the ability to make his dolls come to life? We can have a Pinocchio experience. I really want to look at the fighter, the Red Lion Knight. Why? Because Quintus is a Red Lion Knight, and I always wanted to know what the Red Lion Knight does. So, let's read the Red Lion Knight. Knights of the land away, raised to be valiant and just. They are natural commanders and warriors. Red Lion Knights excel at leading others into battle and representing their noble houses with authority and tact. Characterized by their use of heavy armor and spear-tipped standards featuring their family crests, they often ride into battle, inspiring those behind them. It's Quintus. Spear-tipped standard. This weapon is a common martial melee weapon that costs 12 gold pieces and weighs about 10 pounds. It deals 1d6 piercing damage and has versatile 1d8 and reach properties. A spear-tipped standard is a long piercing weapon that resembles a spear but cannot be thrown. Rather, it has an extra length meant for securing flags to it. Despite the flag's weight, with proper training, it can be used efficiently as a weapon or status symbol. Richter was adopted. He adopted an abandoned half-elf child halfway through the campaign, and it was so goddamn handsome. Wholesome, not handsome. Oh my god. The doll adopted an elf. A half-elf. What? How did this happen? They have improved critical in melee. Neat. 19 or 20. And also at that level they have call to action. You can let out a great call as an action on your turn, commanding your allies to rush forward while simultaneously confounding your opponents with a sudden rush. Up to 10, Jesus, 10 creatures can move up that can see or hear you within 60 feet may use their reaction to move up to half their movement speed without provoking opportunities. They move this way, and in difficult terrain that isn't the result of needing a different type of movement speed, such as climbing, burrowing, or swimming, doesn't count as difficult terrain. You must finish a short or long rest before you can use this feature again. Oh, it's just movement. I thought they would have something else. It's literally just movement. 7th level Royal Envoy. Knights of high standing are expected to conduct themselves with grace. At 7th level, you gain proficiency with the persuasion skill. If you are already proficient in it, you gain proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice: animal handling, insight, intimidation, or performance. Those are very neat. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any charisma persuasion check you make unless it already was. You receive this benefit regardless of the skill proficiency you gain from this feature. So yeah, if you're not proficient in persuasion at 7th level, you have expertise in it. Okay, interesting. I like to have commanding fighter positions. So yeah, I like it. Knight's Temperance at 10th level. Your training as a virtuous, perceptive knight has led has left you ready to fly into combat and aware of your surroundings. Cannot be surprised while conscious. You have advantage on initiative checks. Okay, it's somewhat of a ribbon, because being surprised doesn't happen that often, and advantage on initiative is good. It's barbarian levels. Superior critical in melee. It goes up to 18 to 20, and you add an additional weapon die. Okay, so at 15th level, Quintus will start to do damage for Quintus. Failure. I like to say failure as your name, but yeah, it's failure. I mean, having a teddy bear as a dad would honestly be pretty great. He'd be able to comfort you when you're stressed better than anyone else. Yes, just hug me, child. No, there is no need to be stressed. Hug me. I am Squish. Hug me, for I am Squish. And Squish must be hugged. Standard of authority. Your role as a knight is more than just your status. It is the deeds and ideals that define who you are. Those traits bleed out in every action you take and inspire those around you. Starting at 18th level, once per short or long rest, you may use this feature as an action to give a rousing cry to your companions. Okay. Action. Up to 5 creatures that can hear you, including you if you target yourself, gain an authority die, a d6, which are spent by the creature next time they fail an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. When they do, they reroll the d20 and add the result of the d6 to the new result. This is done even if the initial roll had advantage or disadvantage. Apart from the d6, the roll has the same bonuses and penalties the original roll had. These authority dice disappear in 1 minute or at the end of the current encounter, whether they were spent or not. God damn it. Yeah, it's an interesting reroll, but like, this class gets so little compared to Logan's normal classes. This gets so little. I'm like, what? This could get much more. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's the Red Lion Knight. A bit underwhelming. I expected the features that haven't come into play as the ones in Net 19 gain Vestige of Ophiuchus. The 10th, 15th, and 18th level features to have more good things than just this. But okay. Let's see the way of the blue metal, which was Vogan. Starting at 3rd level, a fighter may choose this archetype. Fighters who follow the way of the blue metal dedicate themselves to mental training and stillness. The traditions practiced by these warriors dates back to an ancient elven swordsman named Masamaru El Munda, who sought out clarity in battle rather than letting himself get lost in it. It is considered a martial art and school of mental thought, revolving around the use of swords or other bladed weapons primarily. Members who practice it hope to learn to infuse their concentrated spiritual energy chakra into their weapons to perform superhuman feats. Eventually, they aim to control their spiritual energy to such a degree that they can permanently add a part of themselves to the signature weapon. Okay, that looks interesting. Bonus proficiencies. Starting at the level, you have proficiency in nature checks. You have advantage in saving throws against being frightened, and you can choose others if you already have proficiency in nature. Okay. Chakra. Starting at 3rd level, your training allows you to unlock mystical energy within your body, your own body, in the form of energy called chakra. By utilizing it, you can regulate the flow of power within your body. Your access to this energy is represented by a number of chakra points, of which you have an amount equal to your level as a way of Blue Battle Fighter. Okay, this is the resource. Sorry for the mic slam. You gain special techniques that utilize your chakra points. As you level, you will automatically gain specific fundamental techniques as outlined by a class feature, and may choose from a list of esoteric techniques as well. Okay, you start with 2 esoteric techniques at 3rd level, and gain a new esoteric technique at 7th, 11th, 15th, and 19th level. This is like if the Battle Master had a specific path that they would follow, but also some extras. Okay. Some chakra abilities may require saving throws. It's your dexterity mod. Okay. Unless you have Blue Metal Weapon attuned, you may only spend a number of chakra points per round equal to or less than half your total level plus 2. Okay, so at 3rd level, you have 3. Ha! You can use all your points at 3rd level. Fundamental Dragon Surge. You spend 3 chakra points and use it. This is an extra action surge, allowing you to take an additional action and possible bonus action. This feature cannot be used twice on the same turn, or use the same turn as another feature like Action Surge. Whenever you use this feature, you can take an additional 15 feet of movement. Each time you use this feature, an additional time in the same encounter, it has chakra point cost increased by 1. It means that at level 3, if you are a level 3 with the Blue Metal Fighter, you can Action Surge and Dragon Surge. That's it. Maybe it's a good choice, maybe it's not, depending on the context. Central Aura, 7th level. You choose one of the following energy types: Cold, Fire, Lightning, or Poison. You learn to attune your internal energy to that element and bend it into a protective shroud. At any time you would take damage of that type, you may expend 3 chakra points to use this technique as a reaction to negate the damage from that effect, regaining that damage instead as a temporary hit point, and gain resistance to that type of damage for as long as you have those temporary hit points. Okay. These features cost a lot. 3 points as well? And it's a 7th level? Okay. You negate the damage and regain the damage. You negate the damage, you regain it as temporary hit points, and gain resistance to it. So yeah, it's a lot. But it also costs a lot. Spiritual Armor can transform your resolve and tenacity into a physical form that may protect you in battle. As an action, once per short rest or long rest, you may expend any number of chakra points to gain temporary hit points that last until your next long rest. Number of temporary hit points equal to your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus per chakra point. So it would be at 7th level, it would be 3 plus maybe 2 to 3 wisdom. So each point will give you between 5 to 6 temporary hit points. So yeah, this is an interesting thing because at 7th level you can use, it would be 3 rounded down plus 2, 5, you can get 30 something temporary hit points. Interesting. If you use all your points, that is. The total number of you can use is limited to the amount you can normally use in a turn. Yeah, even if you have a Blue Metal Weapon attuned. Neat. Soul of Lux. Starting at 10th level, you regain expended chakra points at the end of a short or long rest. Oh, yeah, they were long rest only, now they are short rest available. Neat. I like when classes do that. For example, the Bard, at 5th level, they start regaining their Bardic Inspiration on short rest instead of a long rest. It's neat. Fundamental tank. Detoxify. You use your control over your internal chakra flow to eliminate harmful effects. On your turn, you may expend one chakra point and use this technique to immediately end an effect causing you to be paralyzed, charmed, poisoned, frightened, or stunned. Good debuff cleanse. Neat. Blue metal attunement. Starting at 15th level, you can attune yourself to a specific weapon of your choice and allow a chakra to flow into that weapon. You may perform a ritual over the course of a short rest, which requires you to sacred incense, secret ritual materials collectively worth 100 gold pieces. Mixing them with a drop of your blood, you imbue the weapon with a connection to you that causes it to take on a wavy blue pattern. Other patterns may appear depending on the user. This weapon is now considered a blue metal weapon, which means that you no longer have this limitation on chakra points. Which means that at 15th level, if for some reason you wanted to use 15 chakra points, you could. While you're using blue metal weapon, you are attuned to, you gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made using that weapon. The weapon damage is now considered magical for the sake of overcoming damage resistance. If you lose the weapon, you always know what direction it is in. When using a blue metal weapon, you no longer have the limit on the number of chakra. Interesting. Interesting that this thing right here, it doesn't say that the weapon you choose has to be non-magical. Which means that you can have a +4 weapon. Your blue metal weapon can be a +4 weapon, because the max normal weapons goes to +3. You add this +1 here, +4. Interesting. Fundamental Roaring Blast, also at 15th level. Gather your energy into your weapon to unleash it outward. Can I spend 5 chakra points to strike your weapon into the ground to unleash a blast of energy in a 15-foot cube centered from yourself. They must make a strength save or take 5d8 damage of the type you picked in Central Aura and fall prone. Okay, you can create a small AoE. Neat. I like when fighters are able to just not just smack until they die. Moment of Tranquility. 18th level. If you end your combat encounter with 2 or fewer remaining chakra points, you immediately regain 3. So if you have 2, you go to 5. If you have 1, you go to 4. If you have 0, you go to 3. This cannot be used for Dragon Surge. Okay. Fundamental 1000 Strikes. 19th level feature. What? I think this should have been 18. I think it should have been an 18 level feature, because fighters get things at level 18, not 19, but okay. When you make an attack with a melee weapon on your turn, you can momentarily enter an accelerated state of mind. Spend 7 chakra points and immediately take a number of extra weapon attacks with that weapon against the target creature equal to your dexterity modifier +1, which is a maximum of 6 attacks. The target may attempt dexterity saving throw. If they succeed, they take half damage from those extra attacks. You cannot use this feature on the same round as Dragon Surge or Action Surge. Interesting. So, you make one attack, spend 7 chakra points to make 6 other attacks. Interesting. So, and you cannot use Action Surge. So you could like use this on one turn, Action Surge on the other turn, Dragon Surge on the other turn, and you have absurd amounts of strikes and attacks. Let's see the esoteric techniques. There's a whole page of them. Blasting Spear, 2 chakra points. Make a melee attack with a weapon that deals piercing damage. You may use this technique to forego the attack roll, and instead roll for all creatures in a 30 feet, 5 foot long, wide line, 30 feet long, 5 foot wide line to make a dexterity saving throw, taking the weapon damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Very interesting. So you just throw thing and it go far. and boom boom. Okay. Blue Crescent. When you make a melee weapon attack with a weapon that deals slashing damage, you may attack all creatures within range with the same attack. You roll a separate attack roll for each creature. So instead, this one you make a line attack. This one you make a spinny attack. Exemplary Deflection, 1 chakra point. As a reaction, you may reduce the damage from an attack originating from a target you can see by half. This is one chakra point for that 5th level rogue feature. I don't remember the name, but it's that one. Stream, live. Okay. Flash Step, 2 chakra points. Your movement this round can be taken without provoking opportunity attacks or triggering effects from spells that trigger when you enter their range, unless you end this movement in their range. Have advantage on the first attack roll or saving throw you make on this turn after using this technique. So you just move fast, move quick, stab. Flowing Metal. When you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, also costs 1 point, you may use this technique to move as if you'd taken the disengage action, provoking no opportunity attacks. This does not grant you additional movement. You stab and run away. Stab and run away. Form of Aura. 2 chakra points. You may, as an action, imbue a weapon you're wielding with the same element you selected for Central Aura. For up to 10 minutes, your weapon attacks deal that type of damage instead of the regular damage, as well as an additional 1d4 damage of that type. Interesting. If you have not learned Central Aura, the damage type of the weapon is unchanged. For up to 10 minutes, damage instead of... yeah, okay. And an extra d4. Interesting. Or you can just like add an extra d4 if you don't have Central Aura yet. Neat. Heel Cut. When you hit a creature that is larger or smaller with a melee weapon attack, you may use this technique to force them to make a strength save or fall prone. You stab their heel, they die. Yaijutsu? Laijutsu? Yaojutsu? Yeah, I'm gonna say Yai. If you're surprised on your turn, you may use this technique to no longer be surprised and take your turn normally. Neat. Majestic. 3 chakra points. On your turn, you may use this technique as a bonus action to have all creatures attempting to attack you. Until the start of your next turn, roll their attacks with disadvantage. Okay. So, wait, until the start of your next turn, yeah. I thought it was their next turn. Reposition, 2 chakra points. When a creature makes a melee attack against you and misses, you move 20 feet without provoking opportunity attack. Okay, good reposition. 20 feet is probably enough to run away from anything that is fighting you. Rise Up Sorfar, 1 chakra point. This round, you may take high jumps or long jumps without having to move beforehand. You gain 10 feet of additional movement that can only be used for these jumps. So you jump good, yes. Scorpion Mark, 2 chakra points as well. When you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you may use this technique to mark them as your primary target, analyzing their movement and gaining a supernatural awareness of their intentions. For up to 1 hour, you cannot be surprised by the creature. They cannot gain advantage on any attacks against you, and you have advantage on all wisdom and perception or wisdom survival checks to make to track or follow them. Hunter's Mark. But instead of d6 is d8 damage, and is a concentration. Severance. Powerful name. Cost 2 chakra points. When you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you may use this ability to force them to roll Constitution saving throw. On a failure, the target suffers a wound that causes them to suffer disadvantage on all of their attack rolls for the rest of the encounter. At the end of each of their turns, they repeat the saving throw, ending the effect on a success. Okay, You're just creating creating a debuff. Interesting. Wind Chain. Make a melee attack. You use a chakra point to extend the range of the melee attack to 30 feet. A weapon attacks with the same weapon may benefit from this effect until the end of your turn. Those attacks are treated as melee attacks. And Zero Gravity. On your turn, 2 chakra points. You use this technique as a bonus action to take your movement normally, even if you choose to run along a vertical surface. You fall if you choose to stop moving at any point. If you make more than one attack from the same square you have stopped moving, or if you end your movement on such a surface. Okay, so you can go up, make an attack, go up, make another attack, then go up again, do another attack, and then you fall. Interesting. I like the blue metal techniques and the blue metal class quite a lot. And I actually prefer, I think I prefer it over the blue metal Sword Saint, actually, from what I remember. But that will have to be a discussion for another time, as my time is now up and I has to go. So that was it. I would like to thank Failure for all of the content that they provided us with, and also I would like to wish you all, as I said earlier today to a group of friends, I wish you all a happy and merry blur of days that happen between the 26th and the 31st of December. So happy blur of days for you that it is, and let us all hope that 2021 will be a better year in which we can play more RPGs, but also get out of our houses and go visit friends and family. It would be interesting, wouldn't it? Yes, I would like that a lot. So, I would like to once again thank you all for coming and visiting, and thank you, Failure, for the subclasses and the race. I like them quite a lot. So, let us hope that next year and next week, which is almost the same thing, bring us good things and good times as well. I will see you all around, probably Tuesday, considering schedules. So, I'll be seeing you.